I'm Federico, aka Oora. We are in my studio in Berlin. I changed my sound card and I got a full RME system. And I want to discuss a bit why I did that and how it integrates very well with my entire signal flow. If you know me, I'm someone that really like hardware stuff. And so I need a lot of input and outputs, especially with this big beast here, the Zähl AM1 mixer. I need very special signal flow. And with RME, especially with the TotalMix, I can route the signal in a very convenient way. So basically it's like having a virtual patch bay. I hate cabling, so I have a patch bay there, but as you can see, there's no cable. I hate cabling, so I created a sort of cascade situation where even if everything is unpatched, the signal flows the way I want. And then if I need to do patching, I do that with TotalMix. Let's have a look at the RMEs. So this is the Fireface UFX III. You have 4 inputs with combi ports, which are very convenient, and they can work as microphone and line. You have 2 outputs that you can use for the phones, but also you can send out signal, and sometimes I use it with CV to control my modular system in a very fast and easy way. Then you have 2 MIDI port, in and out, the USB port where you can record all of your session, and a very beautiful and simple control interface. Down here we have the converters. This one is the DA, and it's very easy to see what's happening because you have all of these. This would be the output, the analog output, and you can see the signal going through and their color code based on their intensity. For example, here I have some audio signal going out on output 1 and 2, and these, which are very scarily red, are CV controlled. That's why they're very hot, because the voltage is pretty high. They need to be high to drive my Zähl modular channel. Down here we have the AD, so it's the converter that listens to my mixer direct outputs, and even in this case I can easily see where the signal is coming from. And they have the same kind of screen where you can do all of your setting. If you want to make your life easier, you have an USB port on the back, so you can use a browser to control the setting of the cards, which is super, super simple. I enjoy simplicity, and if you look around, it doesn't seem very simple because there's so many things, but what it matters to me is like all the instruments are plugged in and ready to be recorded and performed. And I need to interface everything in a very useful and fast way. So I need to reach to a synth. I know that is linked to a channel and go straight into my sound cards. Right now the mixer has 24 channels, but using all the input and output and the effects return and send, I need 40 ins and out, which seems a lot. With the Fireface UFX III and the M-32 AD NDA Pro, I have 42 input and output, so I have a lot of versatility. So when you invest in a sound card, the first things you want is analog to digital converter. So you want as many channels as possible to bring into the digital domain. And you don't really think about the other way around, so the digital to analog. And there's many ways you can use that. First, if you have a lot of outboard. I don't have a lot, but I have few units that I like to use. So I want to keep the quality as best as possible. So that's why I invested also in the M-32 DA. Everything is connected via MADI, and I can monitor everything when I play, when I perform before mixing with zero latency basically, and it's very, very convenient for me. I like in the first phase of production to use the mixer, so I don't like to look at the screen. I just play everything. I love hardware for that reason. I can touch everything. And with TotalMix, I can prepare sort of setup without the need to turn even on the computer, basically. There's this possibility to record everything with a USB card, which is also brilliant. Make me feel like I have a sort of tape machine. And so if I don't want to interact with Ableton or DAW at all, I can just have my setup, my preset, and record everything effortlessly. And then later on, I can manage to send things around, all the effects, the master bus, everything through TotalMix or the DAW. Depends on the stage of the production phase. One thing that I'm really excited about is the possibility of using the digital to analog converter to send CV signal from Ableton to my Zähl mixer. It has this CV channel that is all CV controllable. And also I have my modular system. And so with the D to A, the digital to analog converter, which is DC coupled, I can control all the CV in my studio, which is pretty exciting. So I'm gonna show you an exciting way to use your M-32 DA, especially knowing that the output are DC coupled. So you can send out any signal as CV. As you can see here, I have 5 outputs, and these outputs are basically 5 CV modulator that I have in Ableton. So, as you can see here, I have 3 shapers, where you can design your CV shape, and then 2 LFO. These 5 CV tools goes through the exit, so it's CV1 through 5. And I'm using 5 because my mixer, the Zähl, has the chance to listen to 5 CV to control all of its parameters. So let me show you how cool this is. So I will play, just to show you, I will play a chord on the Juno and just have it on hold. So let's do something like this. And let's record everything. So right now, it's just a sustained chord with nothing happening. So I will turn on the VCA, the volume. And right now, as you can see here, each of the control of the mixer has this knob that listens to any CV that come in the back. And that the CV that the DA is sending. So on CV1, I have the first CV shaper from Ableton. So let me turn that on. And as you can hear right now, the fader of the channel is modulated by Ableton, which is already pretty fun. Now I can decide to do many other things. For example, I can start using the EQ and the filter with the different modulators. So I will turn on the filter. So this is a low pass. And rather than doing manually, I can tell to react to CV2. So now I have an interaction of 2 different shapers which have different rhythm and create variation and interesting progression. I can also use this one. This is a high-pass filter, and I can listen to maybe CV5, which is a LFO. Another fun things that I can do, I can set my send. For example, on send 6, I have my delay, and I can say listen to CV1 and open the delay send. And now the delay goes, the send goes to my Benidub delay, but the signal is only sent through the CV I designed in Ableton. Another fun part that it's very exciting to me now is that I have this section here where I can sum the different CV. So for example, now I can say, listen to CV1, but also add to that CV the LFO on CV4. So now I have a different variation. So these allow me to be in an analog domain, in a hardware domain, but at the same time design all the automation that I want into Ableton. So I'll be able later on to mix and draw on the DAW, the automation, the effects send, the equalization, and it's pretty cool things that you can do. So this is a very specific use case scenario because not a lot of mixers have CV input, but you can use this technique with any Eurorack system. And so I'm blessed because I have now 32 out just using the DA. But even if you have a smaller interface or just a Fireface, this one sports 12 outputs, and the fact that I have also on front of the interface is great because with a split cable I can come out with just, for example, 11 and 12 and use one for gate, one for CV, and I can sequence any modular system, any modular voices. So it's a very beautiful bridge between the digital world, where you have the convenience of creating your stuff in Ableton and design your, for example, designing these kind of curves and envelopes. It wouldn't be very easy in the modular world. Also, everything can be synced. So the RME is the bridge between the digital world and the analog world, and it works really, really seamlessly and effortlessly. Another reason why I choose RME is because I know that the support is really good and they keep supporting sound cards that are products that are very, very old. So I feel that for the next, hopefully 10 or 20 years, I'm set up and I don't have to think about investing more in this kind of products. If you're interested to know more about my music and what I do, I'm all over the social as Oora Music, and you can find me in YouTube, where I do also content related to music and creativity. And for music, I'm on all the streaming service. Just look for Oora. Thanks, and see you next time.